Hello students, welcome to my class. Today we will discuss the chapter number 8, that is conquering distance. So let's start the chapter. Moving from one place to the another and transporting goods to one place from the another, it has been one of the earliest need of the humans like today. But there was no vehicles, so how the people traveled that time and carried their goods from one place to the another. He had to carry their goods belongings on his back, okay. But in case of heavy loads, he tied two bunches of trees together and managed to drag by himself. It is in this way they carried their goods from one place to the another earlier. Thus these were replaced in course of a time drawn by animals. This system was replaced drawn by the animals later. But the invention of wheel came as a big turning point in the story of transport. How? It was assumed that the Mesopotamian people perhaps did it. They gave them the clue to make the wheels out of rounded tree trunks. They make for the first time how to make the wheels, they made the wheels out of rounded tree trunks, okay. With the help of 2 or 4 wheels, carts began to be made, and tamed animals were used to draw these carts. Tamed animals like horse, camels, buffaloes, donkeys, etc. They used to drag the carts. But the centuries later, lots of improvement took place in the wheel carts. Centuries later, lot of improvement took place. Now, modern means of transport. See, invention of steam engine gave the birth of railways and steam driven ships. Invention of steam engines, it gave the birth of railways and the steam driven ships, okay. The discovery of mineral oil made it running on the cars and trucks on the road possible. In the invention of mineral oil only possible to cars and trucks made it run on the roads. Motorized boats and ships were also developed and new sea roads were discovered also. During the 20th century only, aeroplanes were invented and man became able to fly like a bird. Only the 20th century aeroplane were invented, and now man can fly. Today you can fly across the sea to any part of the world in a few hours. Today you can go anywhere, any part of the country. You can go within a short period of a time over a flight. This story of man's conquest of a distance over a long period of time is very interesting to study. So let's start one after another. See, it starts with the roadways. How roadways developed. Roadways played the most vital role in the story of conquering distance. It is the roadways only who play the most important role in the story of conquering distance. How? See, there are many types of roads like kacha, pakka, paved roads, metal roads, so on, okay. Villages are connected with the towns. Likewise there are roads connecting to different countries also, okay. Thus there is a large network of roads all over the world. So all over the world there are a large network of roadways. Now the earliest roads were simple roads in the ground made for guide the carts only. Earlier road was very simple roads, kacha road, which is guided only for the carts only. Roads were developed in India mainly in the Maurya and Gupta periods. In India, in the 16th century, the roads were mainly developed in the 16th century during the Maurya and the Gupta periods, okay. In the 16th century, Sher Shah Suri made the famous Grand Trunk Road in India. In 16th century, for the first time, Sher Shah Suri made the famous Grand Trunk Road in India. The Sher Shah Suri march connected to Kolkata to Peshawar in Pakistan and leads even to the Afghanistan through Khyber Pass. These roads connected to 3 countries together. India from Kolkata to Peshawar in Pakistan, and it also connected through Khyber Pass with Afghanistan. These roads connected with the three countries at a time. Now, similarly, the Indo-Tibet roads connects India with China through Tibet. Indo-Tibet roads connected with India with China through Tibet. Okay. Now, similarly, there are roads connecting India with neighbor countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. So, good roads are necessary for fast and smooth moving of motorized vehicles in the modern world. In the modern world, we require or we need good roads because of fast and smooth moving of motorized vehicles. Okay. Now, there are some roads which are divided into 4 or 6 lanes. Some roads which have 4 or 6 lanes. These bordered roads are called freeways or expressways or highways. Okay. In advanced countries of the world, there is a decent network of highways. If you see the advanced countries, here you will find number of like big highways like this. They have flyovers where road cross each other. Have you ever seen the flyover, how it's look like? If you ever see the flyovers, you comment me below and tell me where you see. Okay, such flyovers with the road crisscrossing each other and common sites of large cities like Delhi, even in our country. If you go to the Delhi and Kolkata or many other advanced states in our country, you can see such kind of a flyovers. Okay. The increased road traffic with the speedy movement of vehicles has created the problems. What problems? See, problems of pollution of air by smokes and dusts. Okay. And we must follow the traffic rules strictly to avoid the road accident. Remember that we always follow the traffic rules very strictly to avoid the road accident. Okay. Next, the railways. See, railways began with the invention of steam engine by James Watt, and was George Stephenson who made the first railway engine. Who made the first railway engine? George Stephenson. Remember that. In the beginning, the steam engine was used first in carrying coal. Understood? It was invented only for the first time to carry the coal only, but later locomotive engine made by the George Stephenson was used to drive the passengers or goods train. Later locomotive engine was developed by the George Stephenson and it was carried the passengers as well as goods too. Now, in the next few years, railways spread over all the countries very quickly. After invention of railways, it was spread all over the country very quickly. Railways have provided very useful in matters of transporting. They have really helped the growth of the development of industries and all of industries in all the parts of the world. Railways helped the industries to develop not only in our country but also all over the world. Okay. For a long time, railway engines were driven by the steam power for which coal was used as a fuel. For a long time, railway engine was driven with a coal. But with the discovery of mineral oil, diesel engine were developed. When mineral oil discovered, then onwards diesel engine were developed. Okay. Electrically operated trains are now in operation in almost all the countries. Now electric train we can see almost all the countries. Okay. A number of countries have developed underground railways in densely populated big cities as a means of mass intercity transport. Nowadays a number of countries have underground railways. Have you ever seen the underground railways? If you ever see, then you comment me below and tell me, and also tell me where you see. In our country also underground railways are in operation in Kolkata and Delhi. In our country have also underground railways. City like Kolkata and Delhi have the underground railways. Okay. These trains are called metro train, and these underground train are called what? Metro trains. Okay. In India, The first railways line was laid in the year 1853 between Boribandar to Thane. For the first time in India, railway was introduced in the year 1853 from Boribandar to or Mumbai to Thane. Okay, remember that. Railway network had a fantastic speed of development since independence. Right after independence, railway network was developed. Largely today, the Indian Railway are the Asia's largest railway network, and it is the fourth largest among the world. So, the longest railways line in the world in the longest railway line in the world in the Trans-Siberian Railway, which connected to St. Petersburg to Vladivostok. And France railways are known for their fastness in speed. The France railways are very well known for their speed. Okay, Japanese railways are mainly electrical. They are renowned for their speeds and their efficiency also. Okay, the Grand Oriental Express runs between Paris in France to Istanbul in Turkey, passing through a number of countries. Grand Oriental Express, which starts run from the Paris in France to Istanbul in Turkey, passing through a number of countries. Okay, so these about the railways. Now, waterways. See, water transport was the earliest means of which people carry goods from place to place. Water transport also one of the earliest means of transport which people used to carry their goods from one place to the another place through fueling the water. The growth of civilization around the river banks played an important role in the development. The growth of civilization which in the river bank played an important role in this development. Understood? Now, boats were the first steps in the development of water transport. For the first steps was boat was developed in the field of water transport. How the earlier boats looks like? See, you can see in the page number 41 picture also given. Okay. With the discovery of the steam and a diesel engine, water transport also developed or revolutionized. With the discovery of steam engine, water transport also developed. How new steam driven ships also invented. See, along with the improvements take place in the shipping system, waterways came into being exists. Along with the improvement of the taking the place, shipping system also improved. Goods began to be transported across the ocean. Goods began to be transported from across the ocean. Okay, like the Mediterranean Sea was joined to the Arabian Sea by operating with the Suez Canal. It was discovered in the year 1869. Similarly, the Atlantic Ocean was joined with the Pacific Ocean, operating the Panama Canal. It was also discovered this road in the year 1914. Okay. Modern ships are very large in size. Modern ships are very large in size. Have you ever seen the ships? If you so, did you tell me? Okay. Modern ships are very large in size. They are driven with the diesel power and they move at a very fast speed. They are not only very large in size, they move with a very huge speed also. Now, you can see waterways have developed greatly in promoting the international trade. Waterways mainly developed for promoting the international trade. International trade means what? Trade with the other country. Trade between the two countries or many countries. For that reason only mainly waterways developed. They are useful in carrying heavy and bulky goods over a long distance at much cheaper costs. They are useful. Water transport are very useful to carrying the heavy and bulky goods from one place to the another place with a very cheap cost, because their transportation is very cheap. The cost of the transportation is very low. Whereas if you compare the roadways and if you compare the roadways and railways, you see, whereas roadways and railway tracks have to be regularly maintained at a huge cost. No cost is involved in the building or maintaining the water roads. What for maintaining the water roads, there will be no cost. There is no cost to be paid. But if you compare the roadways and the railway tracks, for that you need to pay a lot of money, or there is a lot of cost to maintain those roads. Even the maintenance cost of ships is much cheaper than the trains or motor vehicles. Even the maintenance cost of ship also very cheap in compared to the motorized vehicles and the train also. This is the main reason of cost reduction of a transport through waterways, and that is why this is the main reason of cost reduction if through the waterways. Now following are the major sea roads. Now I am going to read out some major sea roads. Listen: the North Atlantic roads, the Cape of Good Hope roads, the Mediterranean Suez Asiatic roads, the Panama Canal, West India, Central America roads. These are some major sea roads. Okay, there is a map also given in your book, page number 42. You see the map very clearly, minutely, and find out all those routes and locate it by yourself. Okay. Now there are 10 major ports in India. There are 10 major ports in India. They are namely Mumbai, Kandala, Mangaluru, Murmgaon, Kochi, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Pradeep, and Kolkata. Mumbai is the busiest port in the country, and the Mumbai port is one of the busiest port in the country. Okay. Now there are inland waterways in the most of the countries where rivers are navigable. There are inland waterways most of the countries where rivers are navigable. It means river also used for the transportation. Here also swell the boats in the river. Big lakes are also used for these purposes. Sometimes big lakes also used for the same purposes. In India, river like Brahmaputra and Ganga are navigable rivers serving the inland waterways. In India, river like Brahmaputra and Ganga are serving the inland navigable rivers serving the inland waterways. Okay. Now this gone the waterways. Now lastly airways. Okay. Man's dream of flying in the sky like birds could materialize only in the 20th century. Man dreamed like a bird. It was possible only in the 20th century. When the Wright brothers of America succeeded in developing the first flying machine. When the Wright brothers for the first time they invented the first flying machine, then onwards it is possible for man to become fly like a bird. Understood? These brothers were Wilbur and Orville, and the name their plane was the Flyer. For the first time they invented the plane, they gave the name of this plane as a Flyer. Later improvements made journey by air faster and more comfortable. If you travel with the air, it is very comfortable and it is more faster than the roadways and railways and waterways. Okay. Now aeroplane can fly at the speed up to the 1000 kilometer. Now aeroplane can fly at the speed of 1000 kilometer. Can you imagine how fast it is? Okay. Not only that, you see the supersonic jet planes can fly faster than the speed of sounds. Can you imagine that supersonic jets can fly faster than the speeds of sound. Speeds of sound, guys, 343 per meter per second, the speeds of sound, and the supersonic plane can fly more than that, can more speed. Travel by plane save time, thus it saves money too. If you travel the plane, it saves time, thus it saves money too. Okay. Thousands of businessmen, government officials, visiting different countries and different places of the world, and even they connected with their works in the different countries, enjoying their visitors and coming back in the least possible time. Every day thousands of people, they fly in the different countries for their different purposes, for their different work purposes, and they go there, they completed their works, and they come back within a short period of a time. Now there are international airports, some international airports in many countries like London, Paris, Moscow, New York, Tokyo, etc. In New Delhi also we have the Indira Gandhi International Airport. In our country also have one international airports, namely Indira Gandhi International Airport at New Delhi. Okay. There are airport at Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Trivandrum are also of the international standard. Okay. Now, most of the countries in the world have their own passengers and cargo services, both the domestic and international flights. Most of the countries have their own national and international airways. Okay, domestic and international. Domestic means what? The plane which is fly within the country from one place to the another place. International means the planes which fly from one country to the another country. India too has its own national and international air services, namely Air India. India has also its own national and international air services, namely Air India. Okay. Apart from the government airlines, a number of airlines in private sectors also be there, such as Jet, AL-HIRA, Indigo, etc. also engaged in the serving the air transport needs of the country. India have some national and international airways also there. The government one is Air India, and apart from that some private also be there like Jet, AL-HIRA, Indigo, etc. is also engaged the serving the air transport needs of our country. Okay, this gone the airways, and this is the end of the chapter. I discussed the chapter. If you have any question regarding this chapter, you comment me below and I will reply your answer. And after listening this chapter, all of you read the chapter once again and you can understand everything clearly. So with this I am going to conclude my chapter here. Thank you.